For the last 6 months, I've been training harder than I ever had in my life. And it all started because earlier this year, I switched up my routine and challenged myself to train like a pro climber for 1 month. And at the end of that month on a trip to Spain, I managed to climb the hardest grade in my life, a V7. But 1 month isn't a lot of time to get significant strength and gains, so I committed the last 6 months to training. And now I've got a new goal, to climb a V10 outdoors in Wales. Thankfully, over the last year, I have met and filmed with world-class climbers and coaches, and I'm going to share with you some of the things I learned from them and incorporate it into my training. But remember that every climber is different. We've got different strengths and weaknesses and starting points, so I really recommend finding a coach or mentor to help build out the right strategy for you. For me, I talked with Louis Parkinson to get me started. I also went and saw Tom Randall and Ollie Tor at Lattice Training, and the feedback I got from these coaches was crucial for me to start off. So this gave me valuable information and guidance for things to work on. So I started by writing out a training plan. I knew I wanted to climb V10 within 6 months, and that was going to take a lot of time, so I committed 4 days a week to training. And my coaches told me I needed to work on things like movement and momentum while maintaining power and strength, so I built these into my 4 days within the week. My first month looked something like this, and I would switch up the days depending on how I felt. But I always made sure to get the 4 days of training in. Next, I met with Andrew D'Souza. He's a PhD student at Western University. He's got a master's in exercise physiology, and he was also the Canadian national champ in badminton and has a silver medal from the Pan Am Games. He's an elite athlete. I've known him for years, and he gave me a physiology assessment to see if I needed to make any adjustments to my diet or routine before I started training for the next 6 months. Andrew, thanks for the call today and for meeting up with me when I was in town before. Now, you put me in this crazy dunk tank thing to figure out my body fat percentage, and it came back at 10.5%. So what does that mean? What does that mean for me? I've got to do my training for the next 6 months or so. I'm a little bit in right now. So how am I doing?
That's a really good starting point, considering you're roughly in the 95th percentile for men your age, in accordance with American College of Sports Medicine. So your starting point, let's say, is actually very, very good.
Okay. Oh, that's amazing. Andrew, you were the top in the country in badminton. Do you have any advice for staying motivated? I haven't trained as much as I'm going to be training over the next little bit. So how did you stay focused for so long?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes kind of intrinsically. So just really doing what you love to do. There's going to be ups and downs to everything. Obviously, you ride the ups, but when it comes down to the tougher periods, which we all face, and I think that the most important thing for me was looking at the big picture, reminding myself of that kind of end goal, and breaking down my current training into smaller aspects, trying to figure out why I'm struggling, what I'm improving on still, just anything to keep me slightly motivated. Because there's always something improving. There's always something that you're doing correctly. Just, you got to break it down to figure out what it is. And how it fits into the bigger picture is really helpful.
Thank you for this. This helps me out.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, because my body fat percentage is already in a good place, I'm not switching up my diet too much because I've already built some really great habits from doing this challenge before. So I'm sticking to low carb, moderate proportion, well-balanced diet. And for supplements, I'm still taking protein every day for muscle recovery and creatine monohydrate and beta-alanine for performance. One addition I made to the supplements was before an intense workout, taking collagen to help with finger recovery. In the morning, I mix these supplements together in a peanut butter banana smoothie, and it's really good. I've got links down in the description if you want to check out any of this stuff. Now let's get into some exercises. Here's one that Louis came up with that's like an intense 4x4 or HIIT class. Pick a boulder and you have to repeat it as many times as you can within 5 minutes. And if you want to make it harder, add 5 push-ups after each attempt. Here's a dynamic movement exercise called elimination, where you try to complete a climb after eliminating one of your limbs. Switch each limb after each attempt and focus on using your momentum to get you up the climb. This one was really helpful for me because movement and momentum were some of my weaknesses. Louie and I made a couple videos on these exercises, so go check those out if you want more information. I'm 1 month in and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling sore. I committed to doing 4 days a week. I gotta do 4 days a week for 6 months. And before I've done 2 or 3 days a week at the gym, I thought, well, one more, could it be that much harder? But yes, it's tiring. And finding the time to do this. I want to make the excuse that pro climbers, you know, they do this full time, but a lot of them have day jobs, so there's no excuses. I'm hoping it gets easier. Hopefully the body gets used to it. Right now I'm tired. I'm probably gonna just go do some volume at the gym. Let's go. By month 2, I was seeing some real progress and started getting more consistent with finishing harder climbs. Along with going to the gym 4 days a week to climb and train, I made sure I set aside time to work antagonistic muscles through doing push-ups or dips. I also tried to work in stretching as best as I could. I haven't been good at this in the past, but I know it's really great for recovery. Also good for recovery is sleep. It's often overlooked, but it's really helpful for recovering your muscles. I try to get 8 hours of sleep every night so I can get back at the gym and get another great session in. Another week, another 4 days climbing at the gym. It's kind of crazy because at first it felt really hard to do 4 days, but now I'm just kind of used to it. It's good. Feel stronger, feel more consistent, the volume's working. Let's do it, let's get a good session. At my gym, I used to project the V4 to V6 blue circuit, and now I can flash most of them. And the hardest circuit from V6 to V8 felt impossible when I started training, but now I'm able to project some of them in a session or two. Another exercise I made sure to do is project hard climbs. This may seem obvious, but I used to try climbs a couple times, then move on if I couldn't get it. But if I wanted to climb something harder than I've ever done before, then I needed to start practicing how to work a problem over and over again. I finished the V8 permaset climb, and it's pretty exciting for me because I'm gonna go to Switzerland soon. I'm gonna go to Magic Wood, and I'm gonna try and get my first V8 outside. So that was awesome to do. I think I'm in a good place to try and climb something hard right now. One more step to V10. On the trip to Magic Wood, the V8 I wanted to climb was wet, so I was trying to find another one to do, but a V9 caught my eye, and I really wanted to try it. I was feeling pretty good, and I didn't know if it was possible or not, but to paraphrase Wayne Gretzky, you don't send 100% of the climbs you don't try. So I committed 3 days to projecting the climb, and I was running out of time, but on the last day, with 5 minutes before we needed to leave for the airport, this happened.
Nice, Andy, come on. Nice, buddy, good. Come on.
Yes.
Good, come on, work the feet. You got it, mate.
Yes, come on, yes.
Come on, so strong.
Come on. Yes, baby.
Come on,
Yes.
come on.
That's it.
Everything you got now.
Come on. Come on. Roll the wheel over.
Come on, this time, just relax. Come on. Come on,
Yes, now get your right wheel back up.
come on.
Come on. Get it off. Get it off. Match that shit. Come on. Yeah!
Yes! Yes!
Yeah!
Yes!
Killer.
Oh!
Woo!
Take my fist. You get the sunglasses.
Oh.
Yes! Tell me everything.
First V9, what the hell?
Congrats, buddy.
I'm a happy guy.
That's phenomenal. Awesome, awesome.
Woo! I've been back from Switzerland for 2 weeks now. I had an amazing trip. I did the hardest climb I ever did, but all the heel hooking on my left leg has strained the back of my knee. I actually can't heel hook right now. It hurts too much. So that's hard for me trying to do this V10 in the next couple weeks. I also did something stupid, campusing at the gym at the end of a session, and I tweaked my right shoulder. So I've got left knee, right shoulder. I just gotta manage that. I'm picking a climb in Wales right now, really psyched. It doesn't have left heel hooks, so it should be okay. Just trying to get through these next couple weeks and try and get that V10. In the meantime, lots of rehabbing. Came here to Paracel's Cave and I wanted to do a climb called Lufarino, and it was pretty wet in some holds that we really needed to get started. We tried drying it out, just wasn't gonna work, so we're gonna go try out another area, maybe come back to this tomorrow, but for now, we just gotta leave it. So we're at another area now. We're at a spot called Jerry's Roof. That climb is a V9. There's a V10 extension that leads onto it that I'm gonna try out. This is not the climb I was hoping to climb. Haven't been here before. Got to start working out the bait on this, but it's dry, which is good. It's very cold though. Hopefully that'll get us some good friction. Hopefully we can warm up to do this, and hopefully I can get that V10 in the next day or two. So let's go work this problem out. Huffy's problem starts right hand here on this crimp, left hand on this good one. It's a really precarious start. You gotta have your feet up high, and it's a big shouldery move out to this jug before you get into the next crux section. The feet are glass! By the time we got to the boulder, it was so late in the day that we only had an hour to try it out. I started working the different sections of the climb, but the sun started to set and we'd have to come back the next day. We had hoped to get 3 days of climbing, but things didn't go as planned, so this is going to be our last day to try the boulder on this trip. I was trying to stay motivated, but it was hard to stay warm between attempts. It was 0 degrees outside with the wind chill. And in the back of my mind, I was still thinking about the climb I originally wanted to do. I still had a good time hanging out with a really great group of people, and it felt good to top out the last section. But I would have to come back to this one, and my goal to climb V10 would have to wait for another day. The one last thing I learned from training like a pro, I learned it a bit too late, was to set yourself up for success. I only gave myself like 2 or 3 days to do the hardest climb I've ever done. And the one I wanted to do was wet, so I couldn't even do that. I tried my best over the last 6 months, didn't work out, but you know what? That's it. I got a lot of time, and I still got that goal, and I can still make it. I'm taking some time off right now. I'm in Portugal doing some chill climbing. I'm not pushing too hard, resting up a bit, and just enjoying nature, enjoying climbing, and being out here and doing some cool stuff. Oh, and one last thing, I need to thank my sponsor for the episode, Low Gravity. They make amazing premium chalk. It's super fine, lasts forever. They've added plant nutrients in there for skincare. It smells like lavender. I don't know how they did it. It's amazing. It's my favorite chalk brand. Go check them out because they're giving you 10% off. Just follow the link down below to their website. Use Andrew10 as the code at the checkout. Get that discount. Try out some new chalk. You'll be glad you did. It's really good. Low Gravity. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I learned so much over the last 6 months, and I'm really excited to keep training, keep progressing, still get that V10. So stay tuned for that. Like, subscribe, go pick up some Low Gravity chalk, and I'll see you next week when I'm in Portugal. Bye.